Hi, I'm Olivia, and this is Livy Loves Books. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I wanted to update this vlog to let you guys know what I have read since the last time I talked to you guys, what I'm currently reading, and what I plan on reading. And I also want to spin my wheel to see what wheel book I get next. So let's start with my wheel book from last time. So my wheel book last time was Next Door Nemesis by Alexa Martin. I started it, I got about 80 pages in, and I didn't like it, so I DNF'd. I'm giving myself permission to DNF. The whole point is to get things off of my shelf that have been there for a while, or finally read things that have been on my shelf for a while, and hopefully keep them on my shelf if they're great. But this one was not, it wasn't bad by no means. I would recommend it to somebody who just wants like a fun little read, but I felt like this was going to be very like middle of the road for me. I didn't like the characters very much. They're enemies to lovers, which I normally love, but it was like super enemies. They were not nice to each other. They were very immature, and I didn't like how they acted. They acted like children, and it just wasn't for me. No offense to Alexa Martin. I think her writing was good. I just didn't like the characters. So yeah, I DNF'd my wheel book. Oh, also, I will be unhauling this. I put books on Pango sometimes, so I'll link my Pango down below to see if you guys would be interested in buying any of the books that I put on there. I don't put a lot at a time. I just, as I read, if I don't like something, I will add it on there so that way I can get it off my shelf and kind of make a little bit of money back, so that way it's not a complete loss. So what I'm currently reading is Fragile Sanctuary by Catherine Cowles. This is the first Catherine Cowles book, and I love this. So it definitely made me feel better about my DNF. I thought that maybe it was me again and not the book, but no, it was the book this time, because I picked this one up right after. And I have already read 158 pages. I'm on chapter 19. I love this so much. I'm definitely going to read the rest of the series. I love Catherine Cowles' writing. She's very talented. I also love this cover. I love the colors. It's so pretty. But this is very romantic, which as I've gotten older, I'm 32 now, I prefer romance. Like, I want to see why they love each other. I want to understand. I don't want a lot of smut. I just want people getting to know each other and falling in love, because I think that's such a beautiful part of life, and I love to watch it. I've already met my soulmate, so I don't get to fall in love again, so I like to watch other people fall in love. But this is about a girl named Rhodes, but she goes by Ro, and a man named Anson. Rhodes, I hope none of this is spoilers, but at the beginning of the book, you are in her point of view when she's like 13, and her house catches on fire, and she loses all of her family members. It's in the first chapter, so I'd assume it's not a spoiler. But it's so sad. And then the next chapter from her perspective is when she's 27, and it's just her dealing with this grief and trying to make the home that burned, the home that she lived in with her parents, a home again, because she misses her family and she wants to do something in honor of them. It's beautiful. It's already made me cry. Anson, we get a little bit of his backstory as well. He's got some trauma in his life. I'm not gonna say what that is, because honestly we haven't really been told yet fully. I know who he's lost, but I don't know anything about it yet. But he's just as damaged, just as broken, and it's them slowly getting to know each other and dealing with each other's traumas and helping each other with each other's traumas and falling in love, which is beautiful. There's also a dog in here, which I love, if you can't tell. But yes, so I highly recommend this. I will let you guys know what I rate it whenever I finish it. I'll probably finish it in the next couple of days. I'm obsessed with it. All I want to do is read it. So I think this is going to be a 5-star for me. I really, really hope so. It's at least going to be a 4. And then what I would like to read in January is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I want to watch the movie that's coming out with Ryan Gosling, so I want to read it. I've had it on my shelf for a little bit. I know it's going to be a good story. I don't read a lot of sci-fi, but the sci-fis that I have read always become my favorites. So I think I will really love this. I've also seen The Martian, the movie. I haven't read the book, but I loved the movie, and I know he wrote The Martian. So I really want to get to this, so that way I can go watch the movie and enjoy it. I always like to read the books first if I can before I watch the movie. So those are my plans. In this vlog, I don't know how much is going to be going on. We don't have much happening right now since it's after Christmas. Everybody's kind of in their chill mood, I guess, chill, relaxing type of mood, and me and Sean are no different. We might go bowling at some point. He's at work all week, so it'll just be me here by myself. I will probably stream some games, read, watch TV. I've been currently watching Victoria on Netflix. It's about Queen Victoria. I just started it. I'm only like 6 episodes in, and I really like it, so I might watch more of that. I also need to watch Stranger Things, get caught up on that, and Emily in Paris just came out, and I love that show. It's so cute. I'll binge watch it in one sitting. That's normally what I always do. So I plan to watch that at some point too. Not sure if it'll be this week, but so a lot of TV watching. I might do some more puzzles. I still haven't made much more progress on my Cinderella puzzle. It is hard. It's a lot of blue, and we have struggled. My husband's been helping me, and we cannot get the border down for the life of us, so we may give that another go. I also got a new puzzle for Christmas from my mother-in-law, Cheryl. She got me a Bridgerton puzzle, and it's so pretty. And I really want to do it so that we can hang it up in my game room. So we're gonna get into something. I don't know how interesting it'll be, so bear with me. My life, like I've said, is not the most interesting. That's why I haven't really done many vlogs. I'm gonna do one a month because that's what I enjoy watching, so I figure that's what people would want to watch. Yeah, so we might take the dogs for a walk. We might do something exciting. We'll definitely go get coffee at some point. We always do. Yeah, so I want to go back and spin my wheel and see what I'm gonna get, so I will take you guys with me. Alright guys, hopefully you can hear me and there's not too much racket. I got my washing machine going and my husband's next to me playing games, but I wanted to spin my wheel. I'm not gonna lie, I've spun this thing like 5 times. It keeps not recording, so hopefully this one is going to record. So let's see what we get. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. The Amalfi Curse. I can do that. I'm excited for that. It's not been on my TBR for super long. I'd rather get some older ones, but I am excited to read this. It sounds very interesting. It's kind of like a treasure hunting story. I cannot remember who it's by, but next time I record my next clip, I'll show you the cover of the book and who it's by and tell you the synopsis. But yeah, so the Amalfi Curse. just wanted to come back and talk to you guys about what I've completed so far throughout this vlog. I finished Fragile Sanctuary. I gave it 4.5 stars. I really loved this. I'm going to continue on in the Sparrow Falls series. This was beautiful. It made me cry. It was a romantic suspense, I would say. It's 366 pages, so decent size for a romance book. But it was about the main character Rhodes and Anson and their traumas that they suffered throughout their lives, overcoming those traumas together, falling in love, finding happiness together, and also figuring out more. There was more to the story than what we originally thought from Rhodes' perspective as well as Anson's perspective. And I just really enjoyed this. I don't want to say much more because I don't want to spoil it. The only reason I didn't give it 5 stars is because I felt like the suspense part, like the whodunit, I guess you could say, was a little convenient. I thought it could be more interesting. It just was a little too easy, I guess, and it was unexpected, the person that it ended up being, but also not really at the same time. I don't really know how to explain it. It didn't make sense fully, but it would have got 5 stars if it wasn't for that. The romance part was amazing. It wasn't too smutty, and it was just so romantic. So 4.5 stars. And I wanted to talk about my wheel book. So for the wheel, I couldn't remember who it was by. The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Pinner. This is, I'm pretty sure, a treasure hunting story. She also wrote The Lost Apothecary and The London Seance Society. I've started The Lost Apothecary and I didn't like it. It was about, if I'm not mistaken, it was about child loss, and I just don't enjoy reading about that. So I put that down. It's on my Pango if you guys are interested. The Amalfi Curse sounded very interesting to me. Haven Ambrose, a trailblazing nautical archaeologist, has come to the sun-soaked village of Postino to investigate the mysterious shipwrecks along the Amalfi coast. But Haven is hoping to find more than old artifacts beneath the Azur, I don't know how you say that, Azur, waters. She is secretly on a quest to locate a trove of priceless gemstones her late father spotted on his final dive. A treasure hunting story, and I'm sure there's going to be more to it with the title. Sarah Pinner, from my understanding, her books are always a little bit like magical or whimsical, so I'm curious to see what that is about. I have it on Libby, so I went to request this on Libby and it wasn't available yet. So what was available was The London Seance Society by Sarah Pinner, so I went ahead and grabbed it because why not go ahead and start something? I'm going to start the Amalfi Curse after. I give myself 2 weeks for my wheel spin, so it'll be the next book I start on audio. But this is a pleasant surprise. I wasn't sure how I was going to like it, especially after picking up The Lost Apothecary and not really enjoying it. But I'm already halfway through. I've been listening to it while I play Palia. This is so good. This is about a gentleman's club called the London Seance Society, where they supposedly perform seances. And you also get the perspective of a girl named Lena. Her sister has died. She got murdered, and she's trying to figure out what happened to her sister. And come to find out, her sister has been part of this London Seance Society. I don't want to tell you more because I don't want to spoil it, but she is pretty much undercover at the London Seance Society with her female companion, trying to figure out a crime for them, but also trying to figure her sister's crime out as well. And it's so good. I've been intrigued this whole time. I enjoy anything in the like medieval, early 1800s period, like Sherlock Holmes style. I love that period of books, and that's what this is reminding me of. It's really reminded me of Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. I read that last year and adored it. I need to continue on in that series, but that's what this is reminding me of. It's not as funny, not as humorous as The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter, but if you've read that, or if you like the Sherlock Holmes vibes, I highly recommend. This is really good. Very female empowerment driven. Also, the romance in here is sapphic. At that time in history, that wasn't allowed, so it's very interesting to read about that as well. So far, so good. I'm enjoying that. As soon as I get done with this on audio, I will start my wheel book, The Amalfi Curse, as well, and I'm very excited to get to it now that I've been enjoying this one. Yeah, so that's my plans. I still want to attempt to read Project Hail Mary before the end of January as well. And I started the second in the Sparrow Falls series as well. It's called Delicate Escape. I think I'm about 20% into it. So the current reads Delicate Escape. I'll pop it up here. I don't have it yet. As well as the London Seance Society. And next to go is Amalfi Curse and Project Hail Mary. So I just wanted to come update you guys, let you know my progress and what I rated Fragile Sanctuary. And I will report back whenever I either finish the London Seance Society and start the Amalfi Curse. See you later. Hey guys, I wanted to come and let you guys know that I finished the London Seance Society. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. I really liked it. The atmosphere was amazing. Like I said earlier, it was like in the early 1800s, so very Sherlock Holmes vibes. The mystery in here was very intriguing. The only reason it didn't get a 5-star is because I thought it was a mediocre story. I don't think I will remember it or it'll stick in my head very long. And the characters weren't my favorite characters. They weren't bad by no means. The main character, I liked her the most. I loved her sidekick as well. I really enjoyed the Mel's perspective at first. It got a little... I didn't enjoy him at the end, I'll just say that. But I really did enjoy this story. I enjoyed the sisterhood aspect of this story. And 3.5 stars. I am currently about 45% through Delicate Escape by Catherine Cowles, the second in the Sparrow Falls series. And I'm really enjoying it as well. I like the first one better, but I do really enjoy this one. I think it's probably going to get a 5-star. I'll report back whenever I finish that. And I have started the Amalfi Curse. I'm only on chapter 4. So far I'm not sure about it. It may end up being a DNF, but I want to give it a good shot, good chance, before I decide on that. Because the atmosphere I love, and just a treasure hunt book. That sounds amazing to me, so I want to give it a fair shot before I decide. Hey guys, I just wanted to come and give you an update on where I am since the last time I talked to you guys. It's been about, I want to say a week or maybe a little less than a week. I've been busy, so I haven't had time to come and talk to you guys as much as I would have liked to. There's not as much activity going on in this vlog, so I apologize if this is boring, but I have read a lot, so I want to document that. Tuesday I went to a crochet class with one of my best friends, Angie, and it actually was the wrong day, so it was just me and her crocheting. I'm attempting to learn how to crochet. I'm not very good at it yet. I can just do a line. I struggle when it goes to like connect into the next layer. I think my knots are too tight. So if any of you guys have any advice on that, please let me know, because I'm struggling. I'm also left-handed, so I don't know if that's why. But yeah, so I did that. Monday, what did I do Monday? Oh, Monday I was working on a puzzle all night long. I'd completed a whole nother 1,000-piece puzzle. I didn't show you guys, but it was Bridgerton. I'll add in a picture of it up here. It was so cute. My mother-in-law got it for me for Christmas, and it only took me about 3 days-ish after I sorted all the pieces to complete it, and I had a blast doing it. It was so much fun. All the Little People, Bridgerton's one of my all-time favorite book series and TV shows, so yeah, I was really excited about it. But I wanted to come back and update you guys on my reading. This will probably be the last clip of this vlog, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start recording for my next vlog. I'm gonna try to do at least one vlog a month, and I'm also going to spin my wheel again in this vlog, so that way we know what to expect at the end of January, what I'll be reading. So for my last wheel spin, I got the Amalfi Curse. I talked to you guys about it a few clips ago. I started it and I'm just not feeling it currently. I think I gave myself my fill of historical fiction when I read the other Sarah Pinner book. So it's my bad, but I am going to soft DNF this. So I'm going to put it back on the shelf. I'm not going to unhaul it yet because I do think I'll like it. I just think I'm not in the right frame of mind to read it currently. So this is going back on the shelf. I'm making my own rules for this, so if I feel like there is potential for me to like a book but I'm just not in the mood, I'm gonna respin, because I just don't want to ruin my flow. I don't want to get back in a reading slump. I don't want to put myself in a reading slump. I want to enjoy the books that I'm reading. So this one's going back on the shelf for another time. I am unhauling the Lost Apothecary though by Sarah Pinner, and it will be on my Pango, and I will link that below if you guys want to check out any of the books on my Pango. Anytime I unhaul something, I've been putting it on there, and I give it a few months, and if nobody buys it, then I do go to a used bookstore and sell them there, so that way they can go into other homes and I can make a little bit of money back, so it's not a complete loss. But yeah, so Amalfi Curse, soft DNF currently. I will come back to this maybe during the summer. I think this would be a better summer read. The first book I finished since the last time I talked to you guys. I went ahead and read the second book in the Sparrow Falls series by Catherine Cowles, Delicate Escape. I adore this series. I'm going to continue. I also adore these covers. I just think they're so gorgeous. The colorway is beautiful. I think the third book is called Broken Harbor. I have it on my Kindle, but I don't own it physically yet. I probably will. I think I'm going to get this whole series. I really enjoy them, and anytime I see them on Pango, I just snatch them. This one's also got sprayed edges, which is cute. But this one was about, what was her name? Oh, this one was about Thea. She was mentioned in the first book. She was friends with the main character of the first book, and they worked at a plant store together. You could tell in the first book that she had some trauma related to a man, and that she was hiding from something, but we didn't know the whole story. So I really enjoyed getting Thea's story. It pulled on my heartstrings. It was very emotional. All of these books are very emotional so far. I think they're all romantic suspense, if I'm not mistaken, which I do enjoy from time to time. I will say I think I'm going to wait a little bit to start Broken Harbor. I'm going to read a couple books in between because I don't want to just do them all in the same, like all of them in a row and burn myself out on this type of story. Sometimes I can get a little burnout on romance. They are similar the way the story progresses in pretty much every romance. So I try to space them out a little bit and throw some different stuff in between so that way I don't get back in a reading slump. I either rated it 3.5 or 4 stars. I will link it up here. I can't remember. I forgot to write it down. But this was really good. It was about Thea and Shepard Coulson. So he is the brother of the main character we see in the first book. We see him a lot in the first book, actually. He owns a construction company. He seems like a big teddy bear. He's a golden boy. He tries to help everyone in his little town any way that he can. It's very beautiful. He's a really good character, very written by a woman, you can tell. But it was so good. Their love story was so good because it takes a while for her to trust him after all the trauma that she's been through, but she really does. And he helps her come out of her, break open her shell and let her feel safe enough to let these people in this town in that really love and care about her. And we also get a glance at the character that's going to be in the third book. I cannot remember what her name is. Sutton. We get a look at Sutton in this book. She owns the bakery, and Thea works at the bakery and the garden shop because she's trying to make enough money to survive on her own. You learn about her financial situation, her previous life. You learn about all of that in this book, and I highly recommend it. I think I liked the first one better, but this one was still very, very good, and I'm very intrigued by Catherine Cowles as an author. I'm not going to say she's an all-time favorite just yet. I want to read the rest of this series and maybe even try another series by her. It seems like she's got a pretty big backlist, which always excites me when I find a new author that I love because I have so much to read. And I love small town romance. It's one of my all-time favorite things. Gilmore Girls is one of my all-time favorite shows, so when it's in a book, it just makes me so happy. And she has made these very atmospheric. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's in Colorado. And I just love that setting. It's very Yellowstone vibes, but beautiful. And I adore these characters, and I adore the series, and I cannot wait to see what the third one has in store for me. So yeah, Delicate Escape, finished it, 3.5 stars, third book of the month down. I think third or fourth book of the month down. And then I also finished Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I'm gonna butcher this name, by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, maybe? I'm sorry if I butchered that. I am from Kentucky. I have a strong southern accent, so I cannot pronounce foreign names very well. But this was so good. It's a short little novel, and I adored it. It was about a coffee shop where you sit in this particular spot in this coffee shop, and the lady pours you a cup of coffee, and you travel back in time, but there's a lot of rules and a lot of things that come along with it. Like, you cannot change the past no matter what you do. You can't leave your seat whenever you time travel back, and you only have until the coffee gets cold. If the coffee gets cold, then you're trapped. Don't really fully understand what that means just yet, but we do see a character in here who did get trapped, and I want to learn more about her. But it's like four little novellas in this little novella, 4 little stories in this little novella, and it breaks it apart. There is the lovers, husband and wife, the sisters, mother and child, and you also just get to learn about the characters who work and live in the coffee shop and their backstory. And just how everyone is entangled in this little coffee shop, how they became friends, it's pretty much like a found family. And I really want to pick up the second one. I think it's called Tales from the Cafe, and I think that might be my next book purchase. But I adored this. I think I gave it 4 stars, and it was a good time. I loved it. It was cozy. Highly recommend. I am doing the buzzword challenge that's put on every year by Books and Lala, and the buzzword for January was you had to have either before or after in the title, so I tried to find something on my shelf that would fit that. And Before the Coffee Gets Cold, I think I bought it a couple of years ago and I hadn't gotten around to it yet. I wanted to. I really just love these Japanese, Korean translated cozy fictions. They're so good. I adore them. I have a few more on the bookshelf that I want to get to, and I think I might do that now because they're good to read when you're going to sleep. They put me in a good headspace, and I adore them. It's not too much on your brain. This is really, really, really good. Highly recommend. And I've started 2 books since I finished those 2, and I want to talk to you guys about those, and then we're going to spin my wheel, and we will see what I get next on my wheel book. That will probably be the next book I pick up after these 2. I don't know if hopefully it'll be before the end of January, because it should be my second January pick. I might already be a little behind, we'll see. But I started Story of My Life by Lucy Score. Randomly, I was playing Palia, and I wanted an audiobook to listen to, and I had this one in my library that I hadn't started yet. And I figured it would be a easy listen because Lucy Score is pretty easy to listen to, and boy was I right. I'm already on page 200. If that tells you anything, this is like Gilmore Girls meets Heart of Dixie, and those are 2 of my favorite shows of all time. I never hear anybody talk about Heart of Dixie, but I adored it. The acting in it, Rachel Bilson's not my favorite actor, I'm going to be honest. She's a little cringy to watch. But the show, all of the side characters, the town, I love that show. It's so, so, so good. Wade Bilson in that show is probably one of my favorite love interests in any show. His backstory is very good, and I highly recommend Heart of Dixie if you haven't watched it yet. But this gives Gilmore Girl meets Heart of Dixie. And if that rings any bells for you, I highly recommend picking this up. It's about a girl named Hazel Hart, which is hilarious because in Heart of Dixie, the main character's name is Zoe Hart. But it says, Hazel Hart is a thriving romance novelist until a breakup drives her straight into writer's block. Having failed to deliver her new manuscript, she's living in pajamas and hiding behind a mound of takeout containers until her publisher lays down the law. If she misses her next deadline, it's the end. Desperate for inspiration, Hazel impulse buys a historic home online and flees Manhattan to a tiny Story Lake, Pennsylvania. Upon her dramatic arrival involving an accident with a bald eagle, she discovers the charm of her new home may have been slightly exaggerated. But Hazel doesn't care, not since all 6'3" of grouchy contractor Campbell Bishop slapped a bandage on her forehead and unintentionally inspired the heck out of her. So, Hazel is having really bad writer's block. She hasn't released a new book in 2 years, and her publisher is threatened to drop her if she doesn't release one soon. I don't want to say assistant, I can't remember her exact title, but she's not the publisher. She works for the publisher, and is her best friend. Her name's Zoe. I think that's who the second book is going to be about, and I have pre-ordered that now that I have started this. I cannot wait to read it. Hazel convinces Zoe to move with her to Story Lake. She finds this online listing of this house, and it's a newspaper clipping about this house that these Bishop brothers helped restore. This historic home helped restore for this elderly lady, and she thinks she gets so much inspiration from this for her book. She writes romance, so it is a perfect plot line for a romance. It sounds like one I've read before, where these contractors are just so amazing. They take care of their community, and she's so inspired, and she finds a house for sale online in that town. And it's the first time she's had any spark of inspiration in years. She just got out of a divorce, so that's what has caused her writer's block. She doesn't want to write romance. She doesn't want to revisit the romance that she has written because it reminds her of her past life, and she doesn't want to deal with those emotions, which I can totally understand. That's kind of how I deal with trauma too. I block it out if I can. But her and her best friend end up moving to Story Lake. The house is a disaster. It is not at all what it looked like in the newspaper clipping. So she's going to have a lot of renovations done. And guess who's going to be the person doing them? Campbell Bishop from the ad, the Bishop Brothers, the one who sparked all of the imagination in her head for her next romance novel. And he is very similar to Knox in the other Lucy Score series, the what is that called? I can't remember what that series is called, but I'll Things We Never Got Over, I think is what it's called, or the first book anyways. But he reminds me of Knox. He's very grumpy. She's very sunshine, kind of. I don't know how to explain her. You just have to read the book. She's got trauma. She's got trust issues, but she's just there for the plot. She's there for the inspiration. She's very into getting to know him better because she wants more inspiration for her story. She wants to continue writing. That's what fuels her. That's what makes her happy. And there's so much hijinks and funniness that happens along the way. Like it said, there's a situation with a bald eagle. I'm not going to tell you about it. I was laughing my butt off last night playing Pally. I listened to it with my husband. He kept looking at me like I was crazy, but it was so funny. This is just such a good rom-com, and it's so much fun. I can't wait to finish it. I might finish it tonight, to be completely honest. Palia just released a new update, and I am just having a blast playing Palia and reading. So, started that. Enjoy it. I'll let you know my final thoughts whenever I finish it. I don't know if it'll be 5 stars, but it's at least probably going to be 4 because it's such a good time. I haven't had a book like this make me laugh in a while, and it's just so needed for me right now. I've had really bad migraines this week. I have not felt great the last couple weeks, so that's why these clips have been so spaced apart. That's why it's taken me so long to put this next vlog out. I just really struggle with chronic migraines and not feeling well. I don't want to get ready. I don't want to come on camera because I look awful. I look like a swamp monster. So just bear with me. I'm doing my best, and I'm going to try and do as many vlogs as I can for you guys. But the other book that I started is The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. I have had this on my shelf since it came out in 2020, and I haven't gotten to it yet. I've been a little intimidated because, if I'm not mistaken, this is an epic fantasy. I have not dipped my toes into epic fantasy really yet that I recall. I don't think I have. But I have quite a few on my bookshelf because I do think it's going to be a genre that I enjoy. I just don't give myself enough credit brain-wise. Like, I don't think I'm smart enough to comprehend it, especially when I do feel bad I can't handle epic stories because I can't pay enough attention. But this one I've enjoyed so far. I haven't made a whole lot of progress. On page 70, chapter 8. So far we've gotten, if I'm not mistaken, like 3 or 4 characters. The first character that you get introduced to, her name is Lynn. She is the Bone Shard Daughter. So her dad is the Bone Shard Emperor. The magic system in here is very interesting. They take shards of bone from their constituents in their town or city, whatever you want to call it. Everyone that's under his reign. They take like a little bit of bone from their ear, and it's called the tithing. So they have all of these, every child who's born, when they reach a certain age, they have to go to this tithing, and if they don't, it's against the law and they can get arrested, killed, thrown in the jail cell, whatever. It seems like there is a darker side of this. Obviously already you're hurting children by taking bone out of their ear. The reason he takes the bone out of their ear is he uses it to make constructs. So his magic is bone shard magic. So he gets his magic from these bones, and he creates, from what I understand, they're like these robot creatures but made of human parts, which is disgusting. But they all have different things, and they all report back to him. So there is a construct spies, there's construct security guards, there's construct policemen, all these different things, and they are watching the people. So you're under constant surveillance is what it seems like, because they report back to the Bone Shard Emperor, and you don't want to get arrested or killed for whatever reason. But she is trying to learn this, Lynn, she's trying to learn this bone shard magic, but her dad is prohibiting her or keeping her from it because he doesn't think she's ready for it or able to wield it enough yet. And she also has a adopted brother who is also competing to learn the bone shard magic. So either one of them are going to be the next Bone Shard Emperor. They're competing against each other. It doesn't let them, since they are in constant competition, it keeps them from forming a relationship. From what I've read so far, it does seem like he kind of wants to have a relationship with his sister, and she kind of wants to have a relationship with him. I've only gotten, I want to say, like 2 chapters from her, so I could be wrong. It's kind of sad, but she seems like a very strong character, and I'm very interested in her. You also get Jovis, I think is his name. He is a smuggler. He's on the run. He kind of reminds me of Kaz Brecker. He is indebted to this like mafia, or I'm not sure who they are just yet, and they are looking for him because he hasn't paid them back, and he's escaped because he's on a mission to try and figure out what happened to his girlfriend. His girlfriend got abducted, and he's not sure by who. He doesn't think she's still alive, but he wants to get revenge for her. He wants to find out what happened to her. And the first chapter that we get of him, some other girl in this town that he's in has gone missing similarly to his girlfriend, and he wants to find out more, and he's on a mission to find out more. And he gets tasked by the person that he needs the information from by saving her nephew, because he's currently in the tithing line to get the bone out of his ear. The reason she wants him saved is this tithing, whenever the emperor takes that bone, whenever he uses it for his magic purposes, it makes you sick. It kind of sounds awful, like it's called bone shard sickness, if I'm not mistaken, is what they call it in here, but it seems like you're not able to do anything. The one person that we've seen who is bone shard sick was on the couch, indisposed, cannot function. So it doesn't sound like it's a good thing. So he saves this little boy and smuggles him away, and as he's smuggling him away, the whole, I don't want to tell you, actually I'll spoil it, but this big catastrophe happens, and he saves this little boy. And also we get introduced to a animal companion. His name is Mephi, and he kind of reminds me of like an otter from the way that it's been described, but he saves him, and now he is Jovis's companion. Then we also get a third perspective by of someone named Sand. I've only gotten one perspective of whoever this person is, and it's very confusing, so I don't know much about it yet. And then we get a fourth perspective of like a governor's daughter who is a knight, and her girlfriend just went missing in the same way that the people that Jovis is looking for has gone missing. And we've only gotten one chapter from her perspective as well. Don't know if we're going to get introduced to any more characters. It's a lot for my brain to take on, but I've been reading it whenever I go to sleep, and I've really been enjoying it so far. I don't know if it's going to be a favorite, but I do think I'll continue on with the series. The writing is very easy to sink into and comprehend. The only thing that makes it a little confusing for me is there's so many characters, and it does seem like it's a pretty expansive world, but I think the more I get into it, the more I read it, the more it'll make sense to me. I just got to get further along. But yeah, so I'm currently reading Story of My Life, Bone Shard Daughter. Once I finish these, I will start on my wheel book, so we're going to go back and spin my wheel. Alright, so I just spun my wheel and I got my book, but I didn't record any audio, so I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to talk to you about it here, and I will show me spinning it and what I got in the video. I'll just talk about it here. So I got The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson, which I'm actually very excited about. I had this on my TBR card because I'm so excited to read it. I've heard great things about Mary E. Pearson. If I'm not mistaken, she wrote the Kiss of Deception series, and I've heard really, really good things about that. I actually have the first one on my TBR because I've heard such good things. But I know it's an older YA book, but good books stay good forever. But The Courting of Bristol Keats is a romantasy, and it is about fae. I love fae stories, so I really think this is going to be for me. If I'm not mistaken, her sister goes missing, or something to do with her sister, and she has to go into this fae realm and try and save her sister. I have a sister. I love books about sisters. I love books about fae, so I'm very, very, very excited for this. And if I love it, I know the second one's coming out this year as well, or if it's not already came out, and I will pick that one up after this. So I'm very excited for this. I hope I'll love it, and this will probably be my last read for January because it is a chunky boy. It is 545 pages, which is pretty big for me with the mood I've been in. But it's a pretty big boy, so it probably will be my last read of January. I'm pretty proud of myself. If I finish the 2 that I'm reading right now and this one, that'll be 7 books in January for me, which is the most I've read in a while. Like I said, I only read 25 books last year. I'm really picking back up my momentum for reading and my love of reading, and I'm so excited currently about all of the things I've been reading. So I really, really hope I'll love this. I will report back to you guys in my next vlog. Bye!